So I've decided to go straight ahead and skip to the ace match, and the reason for that is that the ace match was actually played by the same Dow player who won match 1 versus the Mt.Allison player who won match 2, and because I'm short on time, I just figured it was easiest to skip ahead to the ace match. So basically, that means that matches 3 and 4 of the series went to Dow and Mount A apiece. So this is everything on the line for both teams. Whoever wins this game takes the series. So you can see the Mt.Allison player here as they're spawning as the red Zerg, Daniel. They're playing on the match point, and this is Dow's Protoss player Alan spawning as the white Protoss. So I don't know how long this game is. Let's speed it up here a little bit at the start and see how these guys do. There's the APMs. Already quite high, even though there's nearly not a lot. As I said, there's not a lot really to be doing now. They're just warming up their fingers here. Spawning pool down for the Zerg player. Early gas. About to be scouted by the Protoss player. The Protoss player is setting up a forge. That's actually quite common against a Zerg player to get cannons out, just as a way to defend against an early Zergling rush. And he's not going to stick around. Wow, I'm a little surprised at that. I would have expected a Protoss player to just hang out at least until that spawning pool goes up, and maybe even until the first lings pop out and then retreat. But perhaps he doesn't want to miss valuable mining time and already set up his first cannon. I wouldn't be surprised. 2 cannons. Yeah, 2 cannons is the most common counter for at least 2 cannons. But it's usually 2 cannons, no more, no less, at least at the start here. And that probe's not gonna... Oh, can he keep this probe alive? That will be interesting. Or how long can he keep the probe alive? So... Oh, he gives up, and now the Zerg player obviously is going to go and see what he's got going on here. So gateway up to further kind of provide a kind of wall for the Zerglings rushing in, and this is also a very common strategy for most Zerg players to put down a hatchery almost right away. You see a lot of the programmers doing this, putting up 2 hatcheries right away in expansion. It gives Zerg a very strong economy, and there's not a lot. A Protoss player or so he's putting out some probes to help form a full wall here to stop these Zerglings. But there's not a lot a Protoss or even a Terran player could do against an early expanding Zerg, and that's part of the reason they do this early expansion thing. But the Protoss player is also doing that, and he's formed a nice wall here where he's got all his defense. And you can see there's a 4-letter word, which I'm probably not allowed to repeat on YouTube, said by the Zerg player. He's very unimpressed that the Protoss player has managed to set up such an effective wall against him. And he lost a bunch of Zerglings there too. But he's going for a triple expand. He says, you know what? I guess he can. It's obvious to him, the Protoss player. He's just building his first Zealot now, so it's obvious that this Protoss player isn't going to be a threat anytime soon. So he figures, why not go and try to beat him in the macro game? And interestingly, there is a little bit of an APM difference at this time with the Dow player having, well, twice the APM. Although people pointed out to me that's pretty meaningless, especially early game. I used to think that APM was the world until recently. I've been out of practice and I've been beaten by people with lower APM than myself. So now I'm not sure that I think APM is as wonderful as I did. There was a period there where I just started playing the game again, and my APM was quite low, and everybody beating me had higher APM than me. But lately, my APM is up where it should be, well, up to a level that I'm satisfied with, and I'm still getting beaten sometimes by people with much lower APMs. So I think the moral of the story is I just don't play this game enough. Which is why I'm not playing in this series, because Dal's got better players than me. And I'm quite busy. I'm actually a grad student, so that's keeping me quite busy. Alright, so it looks like it is going to be a longer game. We're 5 minutes and we're not even a quarter in, so I might speed up it here for us again. So still only one gateway down for the Protoss. This is another common Protoss versus Sturg strategies. To put Stargate down, get some Corsairs out, and try to Corsairs provide good scouting information, but the other nice thing Corsairs do is they kill lots of overlords for you. Okay, some Zerglings coming out. Sending another probe in for scouting information. I don't know if... Oh, well, I was going to say, I don't know if the Protoss knows about this Zerg base up here. It looks like the Zerg has also forgotten about the Zerg base up here, too. He's going to try... Well, I think he's just testing the door here. I was going to say he's going to try to take up this, but I don't think he's actually seriously thought the Zerg player was going to stick for that idol. But he's going to get at least... There's 2 drone kills. Possibly more here. Maybe I need to turn it down a bit so I can hear myself think. And the observers are laughing at what's going on. So there goes one overlord down. Where's that put the Zerg for supply? So that puts the Zerg tight for supply. Now, hopefully he'll see this other... hopefully for the Protoss player, he'll see this other overlord. Let's see what the Zerg... Zerg is evolving. That's what? That was sight? Or... I'm showing my ignorance of the game. He evolved something for one of the overlords. It was either transporting or sight. It certainly wasn't movement speed because they're moving pretty slow. And the Zerg player is going to try to counter this Corsair with Hydras. Oh, more free overlord kills. Look at this. Nice. For those of you watching this game wondering, when I do play StarCraft 1, which I don't really do very much of anymore, usually if I'm going to play StarCraft, I try to get a StarCraft 2 game in. When I do play StarCraft, I usually try to hold the fort down with Protoss. So I don't know if that's obvious in my commentary, that I understand the Protoss strategy a little bit better than I understand the Zerg strategy. So the Zerg player is really kind of taking advantage here. Let's see the supply. We've got 50 supply for the Zerg player versus 54 supply for the Protoss player. Protoss is playing a little bit more defensively. Zerg with three bases is going for an... Hang on. There's something on the map making noise. He's destroying one of his own pylons because he was trapping in his own goons. I hate it when that happens. That's one of those things that's happening to me lately when I go back to StarCraft 1. I'm so used to the way the buildings are laid out in StarCraft 2 now that I forget how to properly position my buildings in StarCraft 1. But enough about me, back to the game. One of the things that really concerns me about this game is that for the Dal player is that he does not have very many units. He's starting to get the gateways out now, but I feel like he's a little bit behind on his production here compared to this big army on the map, which is pushing up right now. No upgrades